Hello to all students in New Mexico Silver City University. Nice to meet you. My name is Rolando Flores. I'm a criminal justice system teacher here in Mexico in Univa La Piedad. I'm glad to have this conversation with you. Thank you very much to the Dr. Damon Bullock. I met him probably 5 years ago. We've been working together about human rights. He came to Mexico and we had together very nice experience. I hope we have a nice experience too with these questions you sent me about what you are interested in about our system and Mexican justice system. So I hopefully help you. I hopefully is something good for you and learn more about what happened with Mexico, because all the time we saw in the news a lot of things. And right now, I try to explain you how is our system, and you have different very interesting questions. So thank you very much. I hopefully this exercise help us a lot. And thank you, Damon. I received already your questions. I'm gonna have our class today with your video, and thank you very much. I'm gonna start today, and the first question you asked me, guys, is how is Mexican's criminal justice system structured? Well, we have three stages. The first one in Mexico is the investigation. The second one is to prepare the trial. And the third one is to get right in the trial, when someone is ready in front to the judge. The main part of the investigation, I'm talking about the first stage, is to get evidence to prove that the one who is supposed to be responsible committed the crime, or find out who committed the crime. So the investigation in Mexico is the first part, is immediately after when someone or the police or some call to the police department, they find out a crime. So it's the notice. It's gonna start with the notice, and I wanna let you know in Mexico we have three different levels of the police. We have the county police, we have a state police, and we have a federal police. But they are not responsible for the investigation. The institution that we have to be responsible for the investigation in Mexico is called Fiscalía or Ministerio Público. It's like a prosecutor probably over there in your system. So Fiscalía, they have their own detectives. The police is more for staff and for prevention. So that way, they work together, the Fiscalía and the police, and the three different levels together. But the responsible for the investigation in Mexico, the institution, is Fiscalía. And the institution is not under the state government. This institution right now, we have one amendment in Mexico last year, and they said, well, the Fiscalía is under the government, for example, the president. They never gonna investigate to the president when they committed a crime or when they robbed money for the government or something like that. So they decided to create one independent institution. So the Fiscalía and the federal level and local levels or the state levels are different or outside for the system for the government. Okay, but they are authority, yes, of course, but I will say the president of the Mexico is not the boss of the Fiscalía. So that way they try to separate different functions, and that way they can investigate to the president or someone did something wrong in the government or robbed the money or they committed a crime. So that is very important to let you know, guys. Fiscalía is separate of the government. We have the police, I say that, divided into the three levels: municipal or county police, state police, and federal police. In the first level, when someone find out it's they committed a crime, or they find out is something wrong, or one murder there, they immediately they have to call to the police, and the police get to the place and they have to save all the spot where they found something evidence. And but our police, they don't detectives, they are not detectives, and the different that is big difference in you guys in United States, because the Fiscalia has their own detectives. Use the police because they're the first get to the place and save the place, forget the Fiscalia, the criminalistic team, for pick up the evidence, for have too many elements, for accuse someone he did something wrong, or find out who did it. So that is very important in our system, to recognize. Oh, we have to know that. But sometimes we have some here in Mexico, we call flagrancia. What is flagrancia? Flagrancia is when somebody committed a crime and they catch, the police catch him right away in that moment. So it's two different ways to the investigation. When someone they find a crime and they have to investigate who committed the crime. And the other one is when they catch the guy committed the crime. So that is two big elements we needed for go to the trial or to the judge. So one crime and who committed, who is the responsible for committed the crime. So those are when the investigate. We have all elements to prove, evidence to prove who committed the crime. They go straight to the judge, and right now in that moment the judge, because we have in the three different stages, we have two different kind of judges. And the first one we call juez de control. So he looking for human rights. He has to watch the police, the prosecutor of Fiscalia, watching the human rights, and has the all elements to the people accused or is supposed to guilty, they committed the crime. So in the first stage, the judge has to see if he has enough elements, evidence for send this guy to the trial in front of the judge, who's gonna give the sentences. So the first stage is very important. We have one step there in the first stage we call vinculación a proceso. So it's like a mini judge, because he watching the whole all evidence, both parts in front of him. They have to show whatever they need or whatever they want for help by himself. For example, the accused had to show, no, I did it because somebody else, I wasn't there in that place, so the gun is not mine, or he has to prove in front of him. And the Fiscalia has to show all evidence to the judge and say, yes, he's responsible, and he has to go in front to the judge. So that is very important moment, the first step, investigation, and forget evidence. If we don't know who did it, who's the responsible for the crime, and when they have enough evidence, they got to catch the guy with one judge letter or order. We call orden de aprehensión, for catch this guy and put him in front of the judge. In Mexico, we change our constitutions. We have one big amendment in Mexico about human rights. And right now, before 2008 and 2016, we had to, all the crimes go to people when are involved in the process, they has to be in the jail. Almost all kind of the crimes, Right now, just the felonies, crimes, they can stay there. So the judge says, well, you can go home, and we're gonna prepare the trial, and when we have everything, you have to be there. So that is very important, and we have both ways to get to the first stage. The second stage, it's very important. In this one, the judge accepts the licit evidence, because if it's not licit, you cannot use it for proof something. It has to be licit evidence. In this step, the control judge keeps being in charge. So I said that we have two judges. Who's the control? He's in charge in the first step or stage and the second stage too. But all the second stage is prepare the trial. That's very important because both parts, they have to put in the table what evidence they have. If it's licit or if it's not. Imagine the police, if they have evidence, illegal evidence, they cannot prove that one person is guilty or not. So that is very important. Say no, that is not licit, it's licit, and they have too many argue and say no, this one is yes, this is not. So the juez de control, they have to watch in and look in that part, because illicit evidence, they won't use it in the trial. So the second part is prepared to the trial. It's very important. The third stage is right into the trial. So that is very important right now, because this judge, before in our system, all this process make one judge. So he knows everything before the process. So right now, the trial, right now we have a new judge. He doesn't know everything before what happened. So it's the first time he met both parts. And for the first time, he's gonna listen what they have to say about the trial, what happened. So, and this judge in Mexico, something very important, we don't have a jury. That is just for in the United States or other countries with a common law. In Mexico right now, we don't have a jury. So this judge gonna sentence the guy if he's guilty or if he's not. So that's very important, the third stage. So this is the main part of the how is structured our Mexican system, Mexican criminal justice system for you guys. I'm gonna explain. The other questions you have is, are police officers in Mexico held accountable for how to treat alleged offenders? I will tell you something very important, because we reformed all our system in 2008, 2011 about human rights, about how is now our criminal justice system. We had a constitution amendment in 2011 about the human rights. Before this year, the human rights were not important for the people in general. Now the police has to respect the rights at the moment when someone is in health. Violence is not tolerated because nobody can be prosecuted when the police acts illegally. We still need to help to train the policers to do their job in the right way without hurting anybody. So right now we have problems because before we change our system, police system, we still have the same police officers. So they have to learn right now how works our new system. Before, the best evidence, it was the confessional. When someone says, I'm responsible for committing the crime. Because before, all these confessionals was licit. Wherever they did it, someplace else. Right now, all someone all confessional isn't in front the judge is not licit. So too many policies are like that. They have hurt someone to force to say something, to say I did it. Probably this guy it wasn't there. He doesn't know too much about the crime. So these police officers, someone's still doing like that. They don't know. They have to learn too much about the human rights. Is one of the big problems we have in Mexico right now, because the first step when the guy or what the is supposed to committed the crime stay in the front, and the judge, they have to value the judge or juez de control has to say if the police respected his human rights. If he hurt this guy or something, right away he has to be free. So the process stopped right there. So it's very important right now. The police, they have to do the job the right way. So, but in Mexico, we have big disputes now about if they are responsible because they didn't make this job the right way. So we don't change our law. Probably they committed a crime because hurt someone, they injury to someone. So that's very, very. It's a huge problem right now for us. What the police did it when they held someone, and we have to change our law about why or in what grade they are responsible, because this one make someone probably is responsible stay in the streets because they don't do the job the right way. So that is very important in our system. The other questions asked me, guys, is do the Mexican people trust to the criminal justice system? For understand what happened with our system, I will let you know some things. It's very important. We have a political disorder in our democracy, and this is reflected in the corruption and impunity, and the criminal justice system is not the exception. To give you one idea, in Mexico, listen to me really good. In Mexico, people committed 30 millions of crimes. In Mexico, we have 120 millions of population. So I say every one person is victim of the crime in Mexico. 30 million crimes in Mexico. That is official numbers we have. But something more important, of those 30 million crimes committed a year, just 97% doesn't complain or lets to authority to know about any situation. So 97% authority or fiscalia, they never know about those crimes. 97%. Just 3% of the people complain or go to the authority or to the police to tell them what happened. So that's really bad. The reason of why the people doesn't do it, it's because they know that the police won't do anything. We are too far behind to have our country on the right road to help improve all the crimes. I think these numbers give you idea, guys, students, what happened in Mexico. 97%, nobody know what happened. The people suffer crimes every year, more than 30 million crimes. So because the big point is because the people don't trust in institutions, security institutions. or in our Mexican criminal justice system. That is the official numbers for the government give us every year. We have one study tell us what happened every year about these things. So that is really bad. The people don't trust in our Mexican system, don't trust in the police. Right now we have the army in the streets. They changed the constitution in Mexico. The amendments, we have more than 700 amendments. When you guys have just very few. In Mexico, we have more than 700 amendments in our constitution. So every government changed the constitution wherever they want. Right now, the army make policing all around in Mexico. So that is affect the human rights in Mexico. So that's very important to let you know, guys. The other question you guys makes me is what tend to be the crimes that gain the most attention and why? You know, we have several problems around narcotraffic in Mexico, several problems. All around the narcotraffic is kidnapping, murder, extortion are the more crimes alert to the society. The main problem is because the cartels are everywhere, even inside the government institutions, because they have weapons, they have money, and power over some people working in the government. The other problem is that we are in a poor country. More than half of the population is living in poverty. So I said we are 120 people in Mexico, more 60, 70 millions of Mexicans are poverty. So I will let you, is they survive. One person, the income in Mexico is 100 pesos a day. 100 pesos a day is like $5. $5 a day, they survive, or the whole family with just 100 pesos, like a $5, $6. So that makes a lot of people trying to join to the cartels and make money. So, and the school education is run in general, is very poor, or education in Mexico. We are behind between other countries. So poor people, bad education system create huge problems in Mexico, because the most Mexicans involved, or too many involved in the cartels, on the narcotraffic. So they have to do a lot of activities for get money and try to get good things, like they watching somebody else have it. So that is a big problem. So all around narcotraffic create us a huge problems in Mexico. In Mexico, we have too many murders every day. We have different areas in Mexico. I will let you know that too. Mexico is different. In the north part, we suffer different kind of crimes. Like in the southern Mexico is very different. In the north, in southern part is more Indian part. So in the north is more the weapons, the relation with send drugs to United States, prostitution. We have different problems like that in the close to the border. More close to the border, the crimes are more like I said. Even in central Mexico, around Mexico City, in this area is too dangerous too. But that is in general what crimes impact more to the society. Right now, our government try to make something for affect economy of cartels. So right now they working too much on it, and I think it's good idea. But we are behind. So in Mexico we have too many crimes, like I said. So that is the answers to your questions, guys. I hope help you something, and thank you very much, Dr. Damon, for this exercise. I hopefully one day you can come back to Mexico and share the classroom with the students. And I hopefully one day visit you guys over there and try to explain you what happened in Mexico and about our system, what is the issues we have in Mexico. And thank you very much for everything. Good afternoon.